Thanks for your time. Yes, no, definitely, since you didn't ask one, go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So you were talking about losing earlier, and I personally hate it. Like macro, like or even micro, like even if it'll like help me in the long run, what do you have to say to someone who hates losing to like come to terms with it?
You need to figure out who you're most upset about losing in front of.
What if it's literally everybody?
That's great. Then you need to start really thinking about creating behavior to make yourself lose more. You basically are in the same place that a slow maturing 11-year-old is who hasn't started swimming yet. The only answer to your question is to jump in the pool. If you were like my younger sister, I would tell you that everything you should do for the next 5 years are things that you're likely gonna lose at until it becomes so numb that it changes your relationship with losing. Hating to lose in the way that you're describing it is completely predicated on not being able to deal with other people's judgment. And that is a tough spot to be in. You know? You gotta reconcile that with, I'm probably the most competitive person I've ever met. Or just in the mix with the other people. So I'm trying to win. I don't want to lose, but I respect the game enough to accept it, and I weirdly get good tingles from it because it excites me to try again. You know? Like, is that how your relationship is with it, or what's your relationship with it?
I do think that like fear of losing does hold me back a little bit from like
Doing,
things.
of
Yeah,
course.
from doing for sure.
But why?
I guess it's because I'm like afraid of being judged, or like I don't know, like in my
Yep.
personal sense, I guess I'm afraid of like wasting time, like wasting resources.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes to the other word I love so much. You lack patience. And or the biggest thing that kids struggle with, contextualizing time. If there was, out of all the things we talked about, if on my parting shot I can inject something into you, it would be one thing. For you to feel the way I feel right now about 43 years old. When I was 22 and I started working at my dad's liquor store, my cousin Bobby worked there, who's my dad's first cousin, but my grandma was older than that. Punchline was he was only 8 years older than me because it was like kind of that like skip generation kind of things with like older siblings. He was 30. When I walked in that first day at 22, and I'd worked with him since I was 14, but like when it became real, I'm like, I'm a professional now. And we just spent a lot of time together, best friends, right? Like 15 hours a day in a liquor store together, small ones, like every day, right? I thought he was so fucking old. I thought that motherfucker was so old. So sitting in this room right now, knowing how you feel about 43 at 20, 21, 22, it makes me laugh. Because like, I could literally, like, how old are you?
21.
Great. My mom was 41 when I was 21. I'm 43. Like if I was from the old country, there's a great chance that I could be your dad. You know, like I come into here and I'm like, I'm older brother, right? But like, it's like now getting into like dad territory, right? Meanwhile, I feel like I'm exactly one of you guys on some real shit.
Mentally?
Yes.
Yeah, your energy is the same.
I feel way more similar to you than I do to a 43-year-old other person. You know, like way more. I probably know way more about stuff that's cool than you guys do by the nature of my business, not because I actually live it. But the punchline is, if you knew that, if you actually knew how much more time you had, if you could context how uncomfortably young you are, if you guys could understand that you're part of a generation that means you're gonna live four more full lives. From the day you were fucking born to right now, you're gonna do that 4 more times. If you can contextualize that, if you could contextualize the blessings you guys have, that you don't live in a culture where you're expected to be married at 25 and have a kid at 26, that there's normalcy created around the fact that you can go and have a 20-year career and then start your family if you chemically or intuitively or culturally or internally want that for yourself. We are being so confused by the macro media landscape and the political landscape. It has never been a better time to be alive in the history of the world. For everybody who's being persecuted for looking different, I remind a lot of my friends to go talk to their great-grandparents and ask them how it went for them. This is why we need to spend more time with elderly people that are not our relatives. You want equal pay and like this and that? Cool. Go talk to a 63-year-old professional woman. Like, shit's good. And a lot's bad. You get to choose how you look at it. Not me, not them, you. And that's how this shit plays out.